to also like what we want to do. A developer needs to come in before they start a project, and they need to know this is a landmark, and this is a landmark, and this is what we would like to keep, and this is what we would like to preserve. They should know this coming in before they present this to a plan.
And may I ask you then, in the last statement then, what legal mechanism do you think would work in the face of a specific development, so that there would be a way to say to a developer, yes, these are the 5 or 6 or 10 or 1 buildings that we feel have to be blended into development. How would you establish that?
I've established that with people in the neighborhoods that it's directly going to have an impact on in effect. And I would also probably have a subcommittee of the council and working together with the community and getting their input with the development.
Your district has a very unique population of families, and the makeup of the families is probably a little more unique because of the less businesses, large businesses that are located in your district. What will you do in the face of the current economic situation to make sure that the quality of life of our most vulnerable, meaning our senior citizens and our youth, what would you do to improve the quality of their life?
Am I pro-business, bringing new business into our area?
No.
Well, then I didn't understand the question.
What are you going to do? The economy is very tough. You have a very large populace of senior citizens and of families with young children. They're very vulnerable populations. What are you going to do to make sure that their quality of life and their expectations for their quality of life are met if you sit on the city council?
I will try to work my very best and very hardest to save the taxpayers as much possible, give them as many tax breaks as possible. Unfortunately, the way our government and our world is structured, we do have to pay some sort of tax. As far as giving tax breaks to seniors, I would allow them as much as possible. There's certain quality of life issues in our neighborhood right now. They close almost every supermarket along the corridor of Bronx River Road, and they just keep opening up more and more drugstores. So my complaints that I'm hearing from all the seniors in the area, they have no place to shop. If you live on Bronx River Road, they have to go all the way up to either McLean Avenue or Forest County. These are people that are able to walk, and mothers were able to push their carriages. This is no longer affordable. Do I have an answer for it? I don't have an answer for it. Would I address it and come up with some sort of idea? Yes, but unfortunately, I don't think there's any way to put a supermarket in the area right now. I also think we should try to develop, if it can happen, we did it down in the city, a weekly bus that would go around and pick up seniors and take them to different places that they could go to do their shopping. And do the same thing with parents and with boys.
Okay, so while you're up there, I'll take it back to my favorite subject. How would you support the Yonkers Public Schools, and what would be the first thing that you would want to see done to help the educational experience of our students be the best that it can?
Well, I think the Yonkers Public School System is a very good school system. I'm a little prejudiced. My daughter is a teacher, and I know what they're up against, what teachers are up against, how hard they work. And I would try to develop and bring in, as teachers are retiring, try and get the better quality teachers that are out there. Because there are a lot of teachers out of work right now throughout the city and throughout Westchester. So we have to afford to bring in the right teachers, after-school programs. I'd love to see arts come back, and gym programs, dance classes, art and music. I would also love to see, we're going to have to expand the school. It's coming, so we're probably busting at the seams, so I'd like to see the development of possibly new schools.
Original question?
Was how to help the seniors
How to help the seniors and the youth.
and the youth. I've walked the entire district. I had a primary, and now I have a general election. I've walked the entire district 3 times. There was a tremendous amount of senior citizens. and I'll go on record now, is that the property taxes to senior citizens cannot continue at the rate it does. It has to stop. We can't continually throw people who are on fixed incomes on Social Security to expect to do these property taxes. You have to look at other ways in the administration and other ways to not continually kill these people. I have my mother-in-law, who was 92 years old, lived on Lincoln Avenue. She was paying property taxes since 1950, and that has to stop. What I've done with the schools, with the kids and everything, is get them involved in after-school programs. I've met with Mark Twain Principal, and I've met with Monsignor Barry and Monsignor Gallagher to get some youth programs involved in the neighborhood. That's how you keep kids out of trouble, is to get them involved. The worst thing that you can do is allow them to become bored. And in the district, in the 4th district, is a tremendous amount. A lot of kids, and a lot of senior citizens. What I also wanted to do is you have to safeguard children. You make reasonable cuts. You don't make willy-nilly cuts. What they did is, through the Heights Association, we fought to get the crossing guards. This is the city council. This is their mentality. They cut this crossing guards so they could save maybe $15,000 and cut that salary out. The Heights Association fought back, went around with petitions to get that guard put off back on. That's the type of thing. You don't make cuts like that for the safety of our children. You do it in a reasonable way. But I will go on record right now and say senior citizens have to get a break from this property tax. It's just too hard.
I'd like to ask each of you a follow-up, which sort of merge a couple of the questions that have just arisen in my head anyway. You both have talked about your support of development. I think that one of the things that many people in the city are concerned about is that the giveaways that happen with development, the tax rebates, the pilots, the paying out taxes over a long period of time, all kinds of rebates go back to developers to encourage them to come into the city, and yet at the same time, property taxes are going up all the time for taxpayers, especially those on fixed income. I would like to know if you see a correlation between those two different standards on taxes and what you would suggest in the face of needing the development so desperately. Is it worth it, really, to make that trade-off and provide that many incentives to the developers?
There is definitely a correlation between giving tax incentives to developers and the property taxes. You want to encourage development in the neighborhood, absolutely. But you don't give the house away. You sit down, once again, and you have a city council that gets involved with the developers to try to negotiate the proper things to have them come in the neighborhood and do the right things. You just don't give away the store and put it on the backs of the taxpayers again. We've done that. We've had, with Stu Lennon in that area, in the previous administrations, we gave away a lot of the store. They have tax incentives for 20, 30 years. That's not the right way to do business and everything. You want developers to come in, but you have to look at the developer in the eye and say, listen, we also have to have a revenue stream coming in over a certain period of time, and it can't be 10, 15, 20 years down the road where we have to wait where they're making the money.
We've been known, we give the store away. We need to invite developers to come here. This is a commodity. They need to come here. They have other places.